Oh, we're live. What's happening, guys? It's Mikey with the Hair Business Blueprint. We are going to be talking about medical grade wigs today. We have India Mason from Wig Medical coming on. We're going to give her just a minute. We're both in the Atlanta area, and Atlanta is experiencing some tornadoes. So India messaged me and she's like, "Hey, should we still do this? I have like tornado watch. I don't know if I have internet, this, that, the other." And I was like, "Well, it's scheduled. So unless that twister is taking your house up, India, we're doing this live." So I think she said she's trying to connect to her hotspot. Oh, there she is coming on. She was trying to connect to her hotspot. Let me just bring her in. Oh, there she is. India, probably don't have the best connection with your hotspot, but that's okay.
Yes, I'm going in and out. We have a terrible storm up here. We're on tornado watch, so I'm hoping it stays
Well,
stable.
they say better watch some tornadoes. So yeah, we're here. Let me get my little show India, the little India Wig Medical there. So India, today we're going to do a Q&A with talking about some of the popular questions people have about becoming a cranial prosthesis specialist. So that's what we're going to start off with. And then after we go through some of those questions, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I need more people to become cranial prosthesis specialists, because we are making this is a kinky straight, by the way, and I'll talk more about these wigs. We are making the medical grade wigs now for private label. I think initially they're going to be on Dropship Beauty, but we'll get to that after some Q&A. So India, let's go ahead and go over some of the common questions. Also, if you guys are watching and have questions, just leave it in the comments. It's going to show up. I'll be able to put it up on the screen, and then we'll be able to discuss that as well. So India, let's go ahead and chat about what are some of the common questions people are asking.
Okay, thank you so much, Mikey. So we get a lot of questions about the course just because it's relatively new. One of the most common questions we get is, when does it start? And so it's important for our students to know and understand that this course is completely self-paced, completely self-guided. So once you register for the course, you're pretty much having the free will to access it as soon or as, long as you like. So it starts immediately. After you purchase it, you have access to it.
Okay.
Another one is, how long is the course? So again, it's 9 chapters long, but that's self-paced and self-guided. So we have students that finish in a day, and we have students, that take a little bit more time. Since it's self-paced and self-guided, you're able to take as little or as much time as you like.
Okay, what do you think has been the average for people to finish the course? I mean, I went through it, and if you just want to sit there and just crank it out, I'm a decent speed learner. I think it's probably 4 or 5 hours. But what would you think on the average as far as someone sits down? I mean, someone could probably just sit down an hour a day and be done with this thing, learn a ton in a week, right?
Right. So it's 9 chapters. And like you said, Mikey, someone definitely could sit down each day an hour and be finished within the week.
Okay. So yeah, so that's something probably people need to plan if you're thinking about taking the course. Uh, think about carving out some time so you can get this thing done. Because I'm sure you've seen there's some students that sign up and just don't finish within, the first couple weeks, which is a little bit crazy because you got to get this thing done.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what else do we got going on?
Another question that we get is this program accredited? Will I be recognized by insurance companies upon completion? And so the answer to this question is absolutely. Our course is comprehensive, providing you with all of the steps necessary to obtain the accreditation needed to be recognized by insurance companies. So you absolutely will be accredited upon the completion, and your business will have acquired all of the necessary legitimizations to be able to sell medical grade wigs as well.
And then the course I know also walks you through, okay, you pass the course, kind of what's next. You're going to have your certificate, obviously, in lab coat and all that, which is awesome. but then it also walks you through how to sign up and start connecting with the insurance companies so you can start collecting these payments for the wigs, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So it walks the students step by step on how to detail the payment, how to fill out the super bill, how to get in contact with the insurance companies, everything that they need to know to be able to insure and be able to bill the insurance companies, they get throughout the course.
Gotcha. Okay, so this one is probably one of the most asked. Let's see here. Do you have to be a licensed cosmetologist to become a cranial prosthesis specialist?
No, you don't have to be a licensed cosmetologist to be a cranial prosthesis specialist. We do see a lot of licensed cosmetologists come to get the cranial prosthesis certification just because a lot of times they're experiencing the stylist burnout and ready to come from behind the chair. But you don't need any prior licenses to be a cranial prosthesis specialist.
The thing that I really like about this, and until I knew about medical grade wigs for a while, I put it in my Facebook group. I'm entering year 10 of being in the beauty and hair and beauty industry, so that's about a decade. And medical grade wigs, until I really met you, I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. What I like about it is, first, it's helping people, and second, like, it's not like the quote unquote, if we're talking medical grade and then you have the fashion wigs, it's not like the summertime where like the business crashes for 3 months. Like, this is something that you can do and it's pretty consistent throughout. So I think once you start building your business, what I like about it is the consistency. So, tax season's coming up, and yeah, all the bundles and all this other stuff's going to be wild, but that only lasts 2 months, right? Whereas something like this is going to be consistent. This is going to be helping people. And especially once you get really good at it, I think you'll be able to get on another level where you can help people a lot more. So that's something that I think is really interesting about this program and getting set up with selling the medical grade wigs.
I agree, Mikey. Absolutely. So the cranial prosthetics, the primary goal is to promote a sense of normalcy for the clients. So just like you were saying, in contrast to cosmetic wigs, we see the industry kind of, take a small decline in the summertime. With cranial prosthetics, it's pretty consistent all year round because these clients are using these prosthetics to have a sense of normalcy. So just like they would wear their natural hair, these wigs are expected to be durable so that clients can feel that sense of normalcy that they had prior to their medical related hair loss condition.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, I think all of us have probably, know somebody close to us that has gone through some issues with cancer or just alopecia and all the different other types of reasons why people lose their hair. So being able to help on on this type of level, I think is really something pretty exciting. So what are some of the other questions that people generally have? And like I said, if you're just coming on and you want to leave a comment, if you have a question, feel free to leave a comment and we're going to get to your question as well.
So another question we get is, does this course teach the application of medical grade wigs? And so at Wig Medical, we currently are only offering the certification for cranial prosthesis specialists, meaning the specialists that are kind of billing the insurance companies and providing the wig. We don't, at this time, teach any application courses. That would be something completely different.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool add-on, is having an in-person class, getting some specialists to come in and be able to actually teach the application would be, I think that's definitely for you. Kind of the next thing is to find who that person is. I think we know some people um, in our group that have been doing this for quite some time that might be good, and we can kind of connect with them because, hey, I'll even host it for free at the, Wig Medical can use my space at Private Label Tucker. So, you're welcome to use that space for the event. So someone has a question here. How often do these clients purchase on a yearly basis?
Okay, that's a very good question. So you have to remember, like, as a cranial prosthesis specialist, these clients are coming with prescriptions. So it's considered medical grade equipment. So in this case, clients have to have instructions from the dermatologist on how soon they'll need a refill. So you may have clients that come and see you quarterly. So clients that may see you every 2 months, just depending on the type of medical related hair loss and the prosthetic that they choose. This kind of is the discretion of the dermatologist, how often you'll have to refill that prescription. That's a really great question.
And I'm also thinking there's going to be certain people that maybe are going through chemotherapy, they're losing their hair, they've had a successful treatment, we hope, and then their hair starts growing back, and then they hopefully don't need a medical grade wig cranial prosthesis. So, I think it's going to vary for situation, but yeah, definitely a good question. So how can you, let's see, so how can you get the units to provide to patients? That's another good question that we're going to be talking about, just because you maybe missed just the beginning intro. I'm on a split screen here. So we're going to be talking about these units and kind of like where we come in, and we've been working on this because we want more people to be certified, because these wigs, unlike, there's not like, you can get a cheap bob wig, right? And these bob wigs can be $100 human hair. The medical grade wigs they're not cheap wigs. These things are expensive. So we're producing a bunch of these things, and I don't want them just to sit there. So it's real important for us on our side, from the private label and job shipping side, that we get these things moving. So it's very important. So here we go. Another question: what is your certification cost? And just real quick, I'll get back to the medical grade wigs, the actual wigs part, here shortly. So what is your certification cost, and basically what does that include?
So the certification cost is $599. And with that cost, you get full access to the course, lifetime access, as well as bonuses that we include in the course. Once our students kind of finish the matriculation through the course, we also send an embroidered lab coat and a certificate as well.
And I think one of the things that we've talked about, and I've talked about it in the group, that is honestly worth the price of the course, is the Wig Medical directory listing, which is putting people on the top of search in their area. Because Wig Medical is so specialized on hair loss, it already has a ton of blog posts. It's basically, India, you read my book probably a few times. India has done everything that I've told her to do to make this successful, as far as showing up in search and everything else. It's working very well, and it's working very well for her clients. So it's just one of those things where, like, if you haven't done the directory listing, I know I talked to you about it. I said, hey, there's still a bunch of people that haven't done this. Reach out to India, because she will help walk you through kind of what you need to put on there, but you need to get your directory listing on there, because this is going to be really important. So another question is it a different lace?
So medical grade wigs, yes, they are made with they can be made with similar and different laces, depending on what the preference is for the client. So that will kind of determine what is the appropriate unit, how the appropriate materials needed to make the unit. All of this is just relative to the client's discretion, as well as your discretion as a cranial prosthetic specialist. So it would just depend on your client's preference and their type of medical related hair loss.
Yeah, and I can actually, because we're here, I can go ahead and give an example. So, like, if you can see, I don't know how clearly you can see this, but this is actually silicone. So, I have this is silicone, but this is a standard lace, but then it has inside, it has more of a silicone or of a silk. This is more of a silk inside. So you are going to have a bunch of different materials. So this here, very soft. So you have to think of, a lot of people that are wearing these are burn victims. They're going through chemotherapy. Their scalp is not in a good position. To be honest, they're going through a lot to have the hair loss. So what they had to do with the medical grade wigs is to find different materials that can go on your head and be a lot more comfortable. Oftentimes, these are people that are not even used to wearing wigs, that are now, they're already going through enough, and then now they have to wear a wig. They don't have to, but they decide to wear a wig because they want to feel They just want to feel better having their hair, and hair, they're already going through enough traumatic experience. But you can see that it's different types of materials. This is much more expensive to manufacture, but then also the insurance companies are taking pretty good care of you with the cost of that. So here's another question. When applying to get in-network, some people work from home. Are the insurance companies wanting to see established business office locations before they approve us?
So the insurance companies are really just making sure everything is legitimate with your business. So whatever address you have your business registered to, this has to be the same one connected to your MPI. So that when your business is located in the CAQH, everything kind of aligns and makes sense for them to be able to approve the claim. So whatever address you have connected to your business, your EIN and your MPI, that has to be consistent with what you put on the paperwork and the super bills.
Okay. We got a nice comment here from Jalen, one of the Hair Business Blueprint YouTube subscribers. What's going on? I don't know if you're not in my Facebook group. You should get in. Very informative. First time I'm hearing about cranial prosthesis certification. This will be new to some people, so that's why I said, "Hey, India, let's go. Let's go live in the Facebook group on Wig Medical's YouTube. Wig Medical's Facebook, and then let's get it out to the Hair Business Blueprint community, because I know there's a lot of people in the industry. And like Jalen, like myself a year ago, I knew about it, but it wasn't there. And then, once I got all this information, I said, wow, this is actually really interesting. So, Jalen, thank you for being here. And yeah, this is something really good. So then we have another comment. I still need a walkthrough for my correct NPI number. Best thing to do is probably reach out to, I know the email address, india@wigmedical.com.
And if you're available after the live, you can message me personally and we can walk through it really quickly.
Yeah, I think setting up some of that stuff up is pretty quick, right?
Yeah. It's just really tedious. All of the information has to match to a T, or they'll just kick it out.
Okay. I'm also, before we actually talk about before we talk about the medical grade wigs, I'm putting a link. Don't anybody go there yet, because we're still live. I'm putting a link inside the messages here, and this is a link over to the starter guide workbook that you have for free, granted, on Wig Medical's website. So what do you think about this starter guides? This thing's nice, India. This is like a, even digital $20, $30 workbook that you're giving away for free to help people get started.
Right. It's full of information and kind of walks you step by step through the course. So if you're somebody that likes to be organized and a planner, this is definitely the workbook for you. And it's free. It's free. You don't even have to purchase the course to get it.
Yeah, I think I saw some people talk about this that first got it when I was sending the link out to everyone. And usually I do it in the Facebook group, because when I post it, more people see it. Facebook's algorithm is just brutal, right? So I'm going to actually bring this up on let me see if I can share my screen. Geez, present. Let's see, 1 second here. Share screen. I'm going to actually show you guys where you can get it. So you can actually see it right here. This is the workbook starter guide. It kind of goes through a bunch of different stuff. It is currently free. Yeah, go ahead and get this. It'll help you set up your business name, your overview. I think it's like 42 pages. So there is no reason for you not to hop on getting this after this call, because it's free and it's a huge resource. This is normally someone would charge for, but we're in the industry of helping people. So I think it's great that this thing is free. As a matter of fact, actually, for my Hair Business Blueprint Facebook members, I actually have a New Year's, I got something for you. I'm going to post that in the group hopefully after this. If you couldn't see it, you just go to wigmedical.com and then you won't be able to miss it there. So on wigmedical.com, you can get the free workbook, which is awesome. So India, any other questions, common questions that people ask about that we should discuss real quick?
Another common question I get is if the course teaches how to bill CMS 1500. And what that is the billing system for Medicare and Medicaid. And the answer to that is at this time, the course does not discuss how to complete that form because currently cranial prosthetics are not covered through Medicare and Medicaid. So there are some discussions with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley to get the bill reopened and passed. If so, then we'll definitely see a increase in this, in the need for cranial prosthesis specialists, and we'll adjust the course to that time as well.
And I think that number is probably going to be an increase of like 20 to 25%. So, I think it's coming down the line that eventually this thing probably will get passed. And if it does, and you're, set up as a cranial prosthesis specialist, you're going to be in a really good position because then all of a sudden there's going to be a lot more people that now have access. Sometimes it's not that just whether or not they need it, they just need the access. So there's going to be, the access there. Another quick question: how many insurance companies do you assist with signing up for?
So within the course, we assist with signing up with the major 5 insurance companies. But we noticed that even the private insurance companies, the process will be relatively the same. You still need to be registered within the same database, still have the same credentials, et cetera. But in the course, we go step by step with the first major 5 insurance companies.
Okay. A quick comment. Somebody just downloaded the starter guide workbook. So much for thanks so much for the great presentation. So that's pretty awesome. You guys, you were supposed to wait till after the live. I do appreciate, you're too excited and it's like, let me get that free workbook before they try to start charging for this thing. We do appreciate that. So anything else? Any other comments? And then India, any other common questions that people ask? If not, I can get into talking a little bit more about the medical grade wigs and how long we've been working on this.
So those are pretty much the most commonly asked questions that we get over at Wig Medical, Mikey, if you want to talk more about the wigs.
Okay. And then India, go ahead and stay on because we're going to have a bunch of more, we have a bunch more people coming in with some comments, but I'm just going to go through real quick, let you guys know. So for months ago, I started on this. Okay. I really started on the manufacturing and getting the medical grade wigs going. Something that I really wanted to do, and I know I talked to India about this, when you look for a lot of medical grade wigs, a lot of them are just like a standard straight hair wig. You do have an option of colors. I think I have like 10 different colors in my office. All those sample wigs that I have made. I was like, make me all the colors. I want to see it all. I like options. But one of the other things that I wanted to do is to make more natural textures, like a kinky straight and like a kinky curly. So it's a little bit more inclusive for more people. We can make all these different hairstyles. I think that's really important. I have a ton of these wigs in my office. I just need to take some photos of them so we can get them up. We do have different types of medical grade wig caps that are used for the construction. This is just a sample of 2 different ones. I'm at home right now because it's almost 8 o'clock here. And I just wanted to bring a couple of them so you guys can kind of see some of the differences between those. And I thought it was just really important to come out with different styles. Now, one thing you will notice, right? And you guys know I'm very crazy about this stuff. So when you have something like this wig, I think India went missing. Like I said, there's a tornado where she is. I'm not even kidding. There's a tornado. Anyways, so like for the hairlines, so it just has more of like that standard hairline. But what I would like to do, because this is the kind of stuff we do, is I don't know if you guys have seen, we actually did a live presentation today with a hairstylist, and they were using the invisible hairline wigs. The invisible hairline wigs are a very special wig because it has a custom ventilation process done. We're actually having those coming for private label with our new glueless wigs. So I want to start working on creating even more natural hairstyles in the front. I don't think anyone at this point is really pushing the bar with the manufacturing of medical grade wigs and really taking it to the extreme to look as absolutely natural and beautiful as possible. This is the kind of, you can easily customize this, but at the same time, I want to kind of limit how much customization is needed. And, with some of the silicone base, it's probably a little bit harder to customize. And I just want to kind of work on that. But as far as the wigs go, we will have these on Dropship Beauty probably next week. We will only have a limited amount, but nobody knows we're selling medical grade wigs, so we don't need a ton at this point anyway. And we will be adding additional styles and links to the drop shipping program. So for all those that have the Shopify Dropship Beauty app, you're actually going to be able to not even have to worry about paying up front for these. As you get the prescriptions and you get paid from the insurance companies, you're going to have the payment. You're going to be able to have those shipped directly to your customer or to yourself and hand those over. So I'm hoping by next week we should have these on have a selection. I'll probably do another video here end of the week or early next week, showcasing some of the other wigs, some of the different lengths, and you guys can see what this looks like. And once again, I'm helping push India because I just noticed real quick. I'm trying to see where it is. That's my cat, Sir Minion, if you're just wondering who that cat is. I just want to, I don't want these just to sit there. We need more people that have their certification so that way we can get these things moving. Someone said show inside. Yeah, I've been showing inside. You're late. But yeah, if you can kind of see inside, and I'll have more detailed photos and I'll have some more videos on these as we get going. So you can kind of see here. Once again, the material is really soft. A lot of times they're going to be using, if it is a lace, they're going to be using a silk-based lace. So if you've ever worked with silk-based lace, very soft. It usually inside, we used to sell a lot of silk-based products, has a kind of a crisscross kind of weaving pattern is easier way. If you first look at it, you might not know if it's a silk base, but then that's how it is. We're also working on some men's wigs. We're working on toppers, and the toppers will have a silk base. So those are great for more of the frontal region and having these toppers. So all this stuff has actually been in the works for a while. Just a little picky about, the quality and everything else. So that's why I'm not trying to rush any of this. And I just got a message from India. Her power went out. Hurricane, tornadoes. Come on. We're talking medical grade wigs. It is what it is. But anyways, so I guess that was it for India. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can go through some of these questions. So when will the wigs be available? I have them ready now. So I just got to get photos of them. We've just been using our studio for going live recently. So those will be coming up soon. Customization. Somebody that's installing the medical grade wigs probably knows how to customize them pretty well for their client. It's not something that's real difficult to do. And you're not going to probably be going in as deep with the customization of some of these crazy lace front wigs with what they're doing to those, just because this is just a very different situation. Let's see. I also love the business plan and business model section of the workbook. Yes, the workbook is gold, guys. If you don't, after this, just wait. After this, go to wigmedical.com. India has a free 42-page workbook. I actually have another document coming inside the hair business blueprint. Actually, I'll make a video like this for the YouTube channel for anyone that's on YouTube as well. So I think that's going to help. Let's see. Sorry, I got a lot of comments here. Let's see. Those of us that have already taken the course, how we'll be able to access and offer the medical grade wigs. Those are going to be, and that information will come out probably in the course. I'm trying to set it up just for now through Dropship Beauty. It's just such an easy way to do this. And then I will make sure that India gets everyone that information. Let's see, is the whole wig ventilated full lace or silicone, or is it bundles? No. So you can see, well, actually, it's kind of hard to see. This basically whole thing. Let me get real close. I don't know how well you can see. I'd have to make a video with one of the cameras. You can feel the whole ventilation process through all of this. So it's very similar to time-consuming process of making a full lace wig, which a lot of people don't realize. The fastest technicians to make a full lace wig is minimum 40 hours per wig. So these wigs, and this is different because of the silicone. These take a while to make. Even for me, like telling the teams, like, "Hey guys, we need to hurry up on these." These take me 10 times longer to get anything else. So like, it's just a process. So I have to, as we get this ball rolling, we're going to have to just keep them slowly in production until as sales ramp up. It's not going to happen overnight. The sales aren't going to ramp up for us on the private label side. So I got to just be, smart about this, but we're going to keep them going with different textures, lengths, and everything else. So I think that's going to be something that's going to be really important. So if you guys have any other questions, I should have another update for you within a week about the availability of the wigs. Make sure you at least go download the free 42-page guide on Wig Medical. You can use the contact form there. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to India. I had her email address here too. Let's see. So if you have no, that's not her email address. That's her email address there. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to India directly. She can answer all your questions. And thank you guys for watching. I plan on in 2023, literally all I'm going to do this year is create content. So I have so many videos coming for you guys. So thank you for subscribing on my YouTube channel, being in the Facebook group, the Hair Business Blueprint Facebook group. I got lots of good stuff for you guys coming up. And that's it. So talk to you all soon. Bye.